let us look at how we can draw an arc in which these two circles will sit on its internal part, or they will touch its internal part. As I explained when I started, that an arc has two parts. It has an external part and it has an internal part. So in this construction, we made this arc that the two circles are touching its external part. They are touching its external part as we see it here. Now we want to draw an arc in which these two circles, they will touch its internal part. That is what we want to do right now. So I'm still going to make use of this construction that we did here. So in this case now, we now have the radius of the arc to be 100 millimeters. The radius of the arc that these two circles will touch its internal part is 100 millimeters. So if you have a question, as we have, so we have the radius of this circle to be 25 millimeters. The radius of this circle is 35 millimeters and the center distance is 100 millimeters. So what I did when I started this construction is that I drew a horizontal center line and I also drew a vertical center line, having located this point A and point B, which are 100 millimeters apart, as we are told that the centers are 100 millimeters apart. So then I drew this vertical center line. Then I went on constructing this circle of radius 25, while this one, its radius is 35 millimeters. So that's what I did at the beginning. Then went on, we did the construction of this arc by making use of this calculation that we did here. All right, so now we want to draw an arc in which the two circles will touch its internal part, and the radius of that arc is 100 millimeters. So now, in this case now, so we are changing this R3. I'm going to change it to 100 millimeters. So here we have R3 to be 100 millimeters. So I'm just changing it, okay? All right, so because for this one, the radius was 50 millimeters, but now we're having the radius to be 100 millimeters so that these two circles, they can touch its internal part. Now, we also need to do a simple calculation here. So we are going to have our RA in this case. So our RA in this case will be equal to, so we have R3, so R3 minus R1. R3 minus R1. R3 is the radius of that arc that these two circles will touch internal part, while R1 is the radius of this circle, okay? So in this case now, we now have this to be equal to 100 minus 25. So 100 minus 25, and this gives us 75 millimeters, okay? So let's take note of that. Now, so the next one is that, so we now have this particular one. So in this case, we have this to be RB. So for RB, so our RB is equal to, so we have this to be, we have this to be 100 minus, so RB is equal to 100. So but before that, let me just write the formula. So we have RB. So RB is equal to R3, okay, minus R2. So the radius of the R2 is the radius of this circle. So while R3 is the radius that you want to, the radius of the arc. So this is now 100 minus 35. 100 minus 35. So in this case, we have it to be 65 millimeters. So this is 65 millimeters, okay? Now, so let's look at what we have to do to draw that arc. So we take the compass and we take a measurement of 75 millimeters. So 75 millimeters, that is RA. So take 75 millimeters. So here we have this to be 75 millimeters. So we have this to be 75 millimeters. So here we have 75 millimeters here. So this is 75 millimeters. Okay. So then we put the pin at this center A here. Okay. Because this is RA. Then we draw an arc. So here we have this arc. So we have already the radius of this arc already is 75 as we used it. Then we are going to take a measurement of RB, which is 65 millimeters. So take 65 millimeters on the ruler. So with the compass, so this is 65 millimeters. Okay. Then we put the pin at center B here. Put the pin at center B. So this is center B. We put the pin here, and then we make an arc here. So here we make this arc. Okay. So this is center of the arcs, and we call this center D. So this is center D here. Now the next thing that we are going to do is that we will take the radius of the arc, which is R3, 100 millimeters. So take a measurement of 100 millimeters here. So this is 100 millimeters. So our this should be 100 millimeters. Okay. Then we put the pin or the compass at center D here. Put the pin or the compass at center D. So if you put it here, so we see so that the pen point will be touching this circle around here, and then if you turn it around, it will also touch this circle. So what we have to do, so with the pin at this point, at the center of arc D, so we are going to draw. Okay, so I have to take it easy. So making sure that okay, so you go like this. Okay, so we have this. So this is the arc. So you can see that the two circles, they are touching it internally. They are sitting inside it as we have it here. All right, so in case you are asked to indicate the point of tangency, so the point of tangency is here. So you have to show that with capital letter T. And then in this case, we also show it with capital letter T. So these are the points of tangency. So this is how to draw an arc in which the two arcs will sit inside it. And we also did for this one, in which the two arcs are touching it on the external part or on the outer part. So as simple as I've done it here. Thank you and God bless you.